Pennsylvania. I'm getting ready for a backpacking trip up to the Indian Run Valley, which is just outside of Pottsville. I am pretty well equipped here. Maybe some people might think it's overkill, but I'm not taking any chances. You might call me more of a comfort type person than a minimalist. My backpack is a High Sierra 75, which is a lot larger than some might want, but that has a lot of compartments, which is good as a front compartment, and it's front loaded. And also at the bottom, it also has a sleeping bag compartment. Now my sleeping bag is a little bit too large for that compartment, so I put that on the straps underneath the backpack, and then I put in all of my shelter. I put in my tent. I have a Cabela's pillow. I have a 5x7 tarp, and I have a mattress. Yeah, that's a poncho. Now, that is what goes on in the very bottom. I always start with the very bottom. I guess that makes a lot of sense. I have an inexpensive type of the undergarment, which is much better. You can't really use cotton, because if you use cotton and then you sweat and then you get cold, you can get hyperthermia. Very dangerous. Now I'll be going in May, but I don't really want to take chances, because I've already slept out in May before, and I already got pretty cold just overnight. So as far as a change of clothes, I just bring the basics: a bandana, a t-shirt, a jacket which folds up into itself, pretty compact. It's more like a rain jacket in a sense, and an extra pair of socks. In Lake Placid, probably about 25, 30 years ago, so it's really been very good to me. I did use a Coleman mess kit, which I took apart, and I put this section in, which is like a cup type of pot, which has measuring marks on it in liters, or metric, or in ounces. Next is my fuel canisters and my little stove. I bring two because one I had used a lot in my last trip, and I'm not exactly sure how much is left. I'm not going to take any chances. Now I have just a very simple kitchen cooking kit, was just a spork, a small. It's not really that much stuff. I also have the water purifier, but that really is purifier only works for clear water, and it doesn't get rid of any bacterias. And if you want to get rid of all the viruses or anything, Giardia and so forth, you got to boil your water. And inside my mess kit, I have a water reservoir, which I'll be nearby a lake, and I'll be able to gather water, and I've used that for cooking and so forth. And I will be having my water supply into my Nalgene containers. The next thing I have here is my food. I have several bags of food, 2 days worth of fuel. I have 2 days worth of food. Basically, that there is a beef stew and a pasta side, a breakfast, and beef broth. The breakfast is oatmeal. There's a little tuna kit here. I have one of them tuna salad kits, 1 per day, and that's for lunch. The next thing I have here is another night's worth. I'll be burning a lot of calories while I'm backpacking, because I'll probably be going up to like about 10 miles round trip. In this container for dinner, I'll be having a potato soup, and for dinner in this container. This comes from a 72-hour kit I got from Amazon, I believe it was. And this has a beef stew, and I have tuna casserole, tuna helper, which I split into two, and for 2 nights worth, I brought the tuna packets. So that could be for lunch on that day. I brought powdered milk because milk is needed to make the tuna casserole. And I know because I wrote down the directions and ingredients right onto the bag itself. Now the bags are Ziploc bags, and they are vacuum type of bags. And here is the Ziploc pump, and this pumps up all the air out of the bag so I can compress things a lot better. I did that also with my trail food. I like to have a lot of extra, maybe it might be a little more weighty than some people, but like I said, I burn a lot of calories when I'm hiking. Now in my front compartment, I have my first aid kit. I have an actual, believe it or not, a dental kit. I have had a toothache one time when I was camping, and it really had come in, it would have come in really handy, but I didn't have anything like that at the time. Next is my hygiene kit. I had the Coleman Bio Wipes, a bug spray, camp soap, and eyeglass wipes, a towel, and hand sanitizer. Being that I am insulin dependent, I have what's called a medical bag. Medical bag, all you need to do is to wetten it, and it'll keep the bottle of Lantus insulin cold. I do not have any other type that like an insulin type of pen-like item that some have. And I have to take my insulin blood sugar testing kit along with some medications and some type of, something for pain, but I, possibly need it. I have my lighting, very simple, just a cap light on the left, a lantern for in my tent, and a good flashlight. That goes into compartment on the right side. The hygiene section goes on to the top compartment of the backpack. And then there is my tools. I bring a saw, a trowel, a pair of gloves, a Leatherman pliers, and a knife. As you see, I also carry just a small roll of duct tape, camo. I think it's about. Also included is the some type of cordage. It's not the greatest. It's not paracord, but it does the trick. I just bring a few things like a book to read. I bring a pipe, tobacco and a pipe, an extra pair of glasses, and a book to read. And last but not least, I bring a handgun. I'll be out in the wild section. I will not be on the Appalachian Trail, which they really kind of don't encourage bringing a gun. I don't really expect to use it, but I have it anyway. The only thing I really do is shoot targets if I feel like it. And I forgot to mention that my High Sierra backpack also has inside packets in the back, and that's where I put my food, so it's going to be tight against the inside, so there's more room for other gear, other needs, and the same with the trail food, except for a couple granola bars which are easily accessible. This is mosquito type netting that goes around my head, and I have found many times that I could have used one of those. It's not a really expensive one, you know, and it does the trick. So it might be give somebody out there an idea of something you might want to bring. Okay, now this is the backpack. There are some goods and bads about it. It's quite large enough and it's comfortable. I'm happy with the fact that it carries weight so well. And, you know, it does have a rain cover for it, which opens from the bottom. There are cords for underneath to hold a sleeping bag, cords on top for holding mostly your bedding, your mattress type of thing. And there are large compartments on the right side and the left side. The zippers aren't so bad. It's just that there's flanges, the flanges that protect from the elements from getting into the zipper area, and you have to pull out the flanges so the zippers will work better. People so often have trouble with zippers. My last backpack, which I got from eBay, it was a no-name backpack. No brand whatsoever. I got to use it once and the thing fell apart. Watch eBay. It's bad enough you buy something on the internet and don't like what you want, but eBay, they really have some questionable items that you can get there in the buy it now section. Back to the backpack here. It does, you know, the bottom part where I put my tent and my pillow and my tarp. There's plenty of room for that, also for a poncho, which is very easily accessible because it's in the front part of that compartment. I could just take it out when I need it. The thing I like the least about this backpack is that these cords, there's a particular cord that's supposed to tighten the top of the backpack, and there's only one, and it ends up being lopsided. It's supposed to go down the center, and the whole thing is off balance. And, you know, that's what they say. You do have to be careful what you get. I got this from Campmore for $110, and I'm not really a serious backpacker like those doing the Appalachian Trail for, you know, whether it's sectional or through hiking, but, you know, I'm satisfied with it. And I hope that my video was helpful to some. I know I may have gone a little bit heavy, and I welcome any comments, but I appreciate that there's no one that leaves any rude remarks, you know, in their language, because I've seen that so many times on YouTube, and it's quite offensive. So please have some respect for me and for others who show what they have in their gear and their little video program. Thank you.